Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball.
This week, come out to the ballpark as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park for a homestand on June 10th. For a 5-game series as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Individual game tickets start at just $12.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats. Cats and Cosby, entertaining and informative
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And you guys, let's go to former special agent in charge, supervisory agent James Gagliano with the FBI, a friend of mine, friend of George's for many years. And James Gagliano, you wrote a really powerful comment talking about these protesters and what they're doing, especially the out-of-towners, what they're doing to New Jersey and to America.
Well, Rita, John, George, and my favorite judge of all time, it's good to join you.
Mr. Mayor, thanks for being back.
But yeah, I listened to the show at the top of the show, and you guys nailed it. These are not organic. They're not populist-driven. These are financed. And I hate to say it, I heard some discussions earlier about, hey, who might be behind this? But it's the usual figures. It's the Democratic Socialists of America. It's the Communist Party of America, as if that's even a thing that exists. They're the same folks that have been financing these, No Kings rallies. So, yeah, what's going on right now? It's sad. And I know, Rita, you pointed out my column in the New York Post. I merely pointed out that the same way that the leftists mistreated Vietnam veterans like my father, when he came back from Saigon in 1967, got off the plane at LAX after traveling from Saigon to Guam and then into LAX. And there were protesters there. They were called hippies back in those days, throwing human excrement at them. And the same thing is going on with the mistreatment of our ICE agents. What's going on right now in Newark, New Jersey, is the same stuff that happened in January in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it's coming to a blue city near you soon.
Yeah, you just hit it on the head. And the other thing is we were talking about the funders, too, with George. Nick Sorter, who's this independent journalist. You probably have heard of him, James. He's the guy who blew the lid on, fraud in California. He talked about all these trucks, John, coming in of, gear.
I want to ask one more question. You got George Venizelos. He was in the FBI for 27 years, 4 years in charge of New York. I got James Gagliano here. Is there a subsidiary at the FBI that's going to investigate this? There's somebody who's paying these people.
Yep.
Yeah. There's got to be a subsidiary of the FBI somewhere along the line. Yeah. There's got to be a division or something. Somebody has to do it.
Well, I think as a former assistant director pointed out at the top of the hour, George mentioned this. These are going to become domestic terrorism cases, violent extremist cases. And again, these are people that are brought in. They are financed. They're given riot gear, so that they can deal with the pepper spray. They can deal with, with armed agents out there. And really, they are agent provocateurs. That is the term. It's a Cold War term. They are agent provocateurs.
So let me ask you, and I'm looking at George, why hasn't it happened already? Why haven't they really gone after them? Because it seems like, I don't know if these people, but we see in all these other different, sort of rent a protester, it almost says, like they go in one city to another city to another city. Why hasn't that happened already? You would think they'd already have some of the money trail.
Well, hopefully they're doing it, and right now, they're basically a form of Antifa. Basically, they just switch hats.
Yeah, so why don't you think? I mean, isn't it kind of stunning? We haven't seen more arrests like that yet. James, what do you think? I'm looking at George too. I mean, it should happen. That should be. They seem to be out there all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we cherish our First Amendment protections here. We cherish our Fourth Amendment protections against illegal searches and seizures. What people don't understand is showing up at an ICE facility like Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey, and accosting, fighting, obstructing the governmental administration going on there, that is the definition of an insurrection. Remember, we talked about insurrections before. It's a violent uprising against a government or authority. what else is this? I mean, Judge, you tell me.
No,
But
that's
that meets
exactly
the
right.
definition.
Mr. Mayor, that's exactly right. These people should be charged with insurrection, and those government officials who are assisting them and making
Inciting.
inciting and aiding and abetting. They should be going after, what happened in New York now is about to have a signature by our governor of a statewide sanctuary city law statewide. And what is it going to do? It's going to be no cooperation. So the ICE is going to have to go back into the streets in dangerous situations to bring these people back. They won't be able to get them out of the local jails or prisons. That's a horrible situation. It's an incitement to a riot.
Well, we got a problem with one friend of ours. That we got a federal order to get him out of prison in where is it? Kentucky? And the warden, a federal order, and the warden doesn't want to let him out.
Listen, they pick and choose. They pick and choose what they want to do, and that's the dangerous part. So, what do you think, Mr. Mayor? Where's it go from here?
Well, here's what's going to happen, Judge. It is simply going to leapfrog to the next blue city or state. And I just want to point something out. Todd Blanche, who worked with George Venizelos and I years ago, he was head of the criminal division in the White Plains office of the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. And Todd said the other day, we're going to find this guy that stood outside, looked at an unmasked ICE agent in Newark, New Jersey, and said, I am going to expletive kill you. I am going to expletive kill your entire family. Now, the FBI used facial recognition technology, which is something that wasn't available when George and I were out there as flatfoots, doing our investigations. But it's a new technology. They found the guy. Now, here's one thing that I think you all will find interesting. There are 4 states that have passed anti-masking laws for federal agents. Obviously, they don't understand the supremacy clause in these states.
That's what they just did in New York.
Yep.
That's just what they did in New York.
New Jersey, Washington, and California. Now, they can't compel, ICE agents to not wear masks, but you wonder why these agents are forced to do it when you have these absolute reprobates and miscreants making threats like the individual that was just arrested today. I hope he gets prosecuted and goes to jail for a long time.
Yeah, and I hope there's another 1,000 or 2 arrests coming soon. Yeah. Similar. I mean, I agree. It's horrible. It is so horrible. James Gagliano, great column. You got to come back on again soon. We love having you.
Much.
Thanks, Jim.
Sounds
Great
good,
job.
guys. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.